Some nice ones. Thank you.
He's a legend. I think he can do it. Absolutely. I mean, it's not going to be easy.
How do you feel about Manny Pacquiao?
No, I love Manny, and I'm glad Manny going in too. Manny is one of the dudes that I think definitely deserves to be in. Manny always has been and always will be one of my favorites because of the way he fights. I mean, a guy to come back after being knocked out in two.
Manny Pacquiao.
Boxing experts are weighing in on the highly anticipated showdown between Manny Pacquiao and Mario Barrios. Oscar De La Hoya has publicly voiced his support for Pacquiao, wishing him the very best. He confidently backs the boxing legend, calling Pacquiao a true icon of the sport. De La Hoya believes Manny's wealth of experience and unwavering heart still give him a real chance at victory, even against a younger, fresher opponent like Barrios.
I wish him all the best.
Quadra, I love him.
Can he do it?
Quadra?
Can he do it? Absolutely. Manny Pacquiao's
Oscar needs.
He's a legend. You know,
some nice ones. Thank you.
He's a legend. I think he can do it. Absolutely. I mean, it's not going to be easy, but I think he can do it.
Roy Jones Jr. speaks with clear admiration, describing Pacquiao as one of boxing's all-time greats. His respect extends beyond Pacquiao's accolades. It's rooted in the Filipino fighter's fearless record of taking on the best. For Jones, Pacquiao's return isn't just exciting, it's inspiring. He sees this fight as a rare chance for an aging legend to recapture flashes of brilliance and prove that greatness doesn't vanish with age. Jones's words echo the emotional hopes of many fans, that some legends still have magic left, even when the odds suggest otherwise. Eddie Hearn takes a more measured view. As a seasoned promoter, he's seen how nostalgia can cloud judgment. While he acknowledges Pacquiao's remarkable legacy, Hearn warns that time away from the ring can erode sharpness.
But how do you feel about Manny Pacquiao?
No, I love Manny, and I'm glad Manny going in too. Manny is one of the dudes that I think definitely deserves to be in. Manny always has been and always will be one of my favorites because of the way he fights. I mean, a guy to come back after being knocked out in two of his first three fights, then come back and do all the things that Manny did. That story is also just as awesome as Vinny Pazienza's story. You feel me? I mean, come on. Most guys can't bounce back from a knockout period. He got knocked out early in his career twice and came back and did all this.
Especially against younger, active fighters like Barrios. He respects Manny's talent, but cautions against expecting a performance from his prime. For Hearn, this is about respecting Pacquiao's legacy without falling into unrealistic expectations. Ricky Hatton raises serious concerns about how far boxing is willing to go for the sake of star power. He views the Pacquiao-Barrios fight as part of a troubling trend where aging legends are sanctioned for high-stakes bouts that may do more harm than good. Reflecting on his own experience and others like Mike Tyson, Hatton questions whether regulators are truly prioritizing fighter safety. He doesn't doubt Pacquiao's skills, but he's not sure Pacquiao should still be competing at this level. Ben Shalom adds his voice to the conversation with a tone of deep concern. As a promoter, he understands the commercial allure of a Pacquiao headliner, but he stresses the responsibility the sport has to protect its aging athletes. Shalom argues that while Manny's name still commands global attention, the physical and emotional toll of comebacks often gets ignored.
It's a very contentious subject, like, people moaning about Manny Pacquiao. I think Manny Pacquiao is still good enough to beat most fighters in the top 20 at 147 pounds. He's clearly not the fighter that he once was. You're not going to be at that age. My problem is that he's been inactive for quite a long time. Like, we were talking about fighting him with Conor Benn maybe 6 months ago or a year, and every month or 3 months or 6 months that passes, you do become a lot older. So, I guess there's two questions. One is, should he be fighting again? And at the end of the day, if he's good enough to beat everybody outside of the top 20 in the world, then why not? But should he be fighting for the world title? I guess that's another question. In the commercial world of boxing, the answer is yeah, probably. In the ratings world and activity world, the answer is probably not.
Do you think it's strange that he's coming off the couch and getting a title fight like that?
I think when you've achieved what he's achieved, you've always got the right to do things a little bit differently to others. And with all due respect, Barrios is not Boots, and Barrios is not Crawford. And that's why, we pushed the Conor Benn fight. Conor Benn, like, his best win is against Algieri or Van Heerden. So actually Pacquiao is a step up. People were still complaining at me for mentioning that fight, like Conor Benny's boots, you know, but he still
Points
has.
to numerous former champions who suffered lasting damage after pushing their careers too far. Ryan Campbell strikes a middle ground. He openly acknowledges that Pacquiao isn't the fighter he once was. Time spares no one. Still, Campbell believes that truly special athletes can create special moments, regardless of age. He references George Foreman's historic comeback as a reminder that boxing history has defied expectations before.
4 years he's fighting for the WBC welterweight title. That's July the 19th in Vegas, ironically. What did you make of that news when you heard it?
Well, it's boxing today, innit? To be honest with you, boxing's, you know, if you can let 58-year-old Mike Tyson box a Jake Paul, then, well, Manny Pacquiao going back at 46 doesn't look too bad, does it? But Manny is coming back, though. You know, Tyson was coming back fighting Jake Paul. Manny's coming back fighting for the world title. But, and I say this with love, you know, how has Manny got his world title shot? He's been retired 6 years. He can't, he's got that on a previous successes, hasn't he? You know, to walk straight after being retired so many years ago, straight into a world title fight. How is that allowed possible? What happened? Surely he must have been dropped out of the rankings when he retired. All of a sudden he decided to make a comeback. They put him straight in at number one contender. I think only boxing can answer that.
I think he's got. Did you say fifth, Joe? He's been already placed fifth in the world ranking.
Fifth, and how can he be placed back in the top 10?
Comeback fighter.
Yeah, you know, when you've been retired years, and you know, on your previous, he was a hell of a fighter a few years back, but we don't know what he's going to be like today. So you know, you'd like to think he'd have a couple of warm-up fights so we can say, yeah, and then get him in. But boxing these days, I think the money's everything in it.
You fought both, obviously. In your opinion, who's better? Who's tougher?
I think Floyd Mayweather. Yeah, I think Floyd Mayweather. I mean, and that sounds rich because he absolutely was probably one of the most brutal knockouts in boxing history, I'd say. You know what I mean? When I see him getting knocked out by Pacquiao on Instagram or YouTube or anything like that, it's in the top 10 of the most destructive knockouts of all time.
Yeah.
But I was a little bit past myself back in the day. You know, I'd had one or two, you know, I wasn't a master of defense like Floyd Mayweather.
He isn't predicting a win for Manny, but he won't rule out the possibility either. Greg Hackett, on the other hand, offers a no-nonsense take. For him, this fight isn't about legacy. It's about business. He argues that if Pacquiao were still in his prime, Barrios wouldn't stand a chance. But times have changed. Hackett sees Pacquiao today not as a dominant force, but as a marketable name that still sells tickets.
Thank you to Manny Pacquiao. Unbelievable career that we may never have a career like that again. I want you to take with you, when it comes to Manny Pacquiao, is moments. By taking themselves out of a comfort zone, challenging themselves. And Manny Pacquiao is a dinosaur when it last of a dying breed. We're not going to see too many fighters like this ever again. And Pacquiao is going to be the type of fighter that we tell our kids about. Pacquiao has 20 wins, greater than some of your favorite fighters' best win. Manny Pacquiao has 3 Hall of Fame careers in one, winning legit titles in 8 different weight classes. Pacquiao's legacy will age better and better and better. Time go on and on and on. A fighter like Floyd Mayweather, I think his legacy will diminish a little bit. Salute to Manny Pacquiao, one of the greatest of all time.
In his view, this bout is more promotional strategy than competitive clash. While clips of Pacquiao's training and his trademark confidence are circulating online, many seasoned voices remain skeptical. They worry that his spirit, though strong, may not be enough when it comes to actual fight night.
Senate position in the Philippines, so we always know that Manny is a busy man. He gets after it. He also dares to be great, and this is wild news. Look, in the boxing underground rumor mill, this had been floating around for a couple months. We just didn't know if it was going to be for real. Was Manny really going to commit to not just coming back after 4 years away, after just one fight in the last 6 years at age 46, but to come back directly into a title fight against a young, in his prime, active champion, Mario Barrios? It's interesting theater, to say the least. It's a pay-per-view main event, reportedly for July 19th. And we know Manny Pacquiao has always brought big business, but now he's going to bring it in more of the late career George Foreman type of way to etch himself into that record book even further. Can Manny do it? I mean, look, the odds are certainly against him, But there's one thing about certain legends in this game. Think Bernard Hopkins, who fought into a very late age. Some of them, as long as they can physically get themselves into that ring, sometimes they can reproduce magic for one night. So it's a romantic situation. I got cats walking around.
Yep.
People are excited to see the Pac-Man back. You just got to kind of figure.
Sparring and training is one thing. Facing a hungry, younger fighter like Barrios under the lights is another. Concerns are especially focused on Manny's reflexes, punch resistance, and endurance over several rounds.
Pacquiao trying to hit a lick, you know what I mean? But Pacquiao not Pacquiao no more. It's tough to go against him in this situation because if it was some years ago, Pacquiao would beat Barrios' ass. But right now, Barrios, with his momentum, might fuck around and beat Pacquiao up. I mean, not knock him out, but, you know what I mean, beat him on the cards, beat him behind that jab.
Similar to like Ugas, the Ugas fight?
Yeah, like on some shit like that. It's a good fight, but it's more of a good fight for Barrios. Pacquiao don't need it, but Pacquiao want to come back and he want to come back with a bang, so, I mean, why not? If he can make it happen, make it happen. Because I would love, if Barrios was my fighter, I would love to have a Pacquiao on the record. I mean, I would love something like that. And that's a fight you know you got to get ready for.
It's a fight that boxing fans are going to criticize you for.
Yeah.
But the reality is Manny Pacquiao has a diehard fan base that you're going to make money with that fight.
Yeah.
But everybody wants to see other fights at 47. You Stanionis, you Boobs, you Brian Norman.
Yeah, but you want to steal as much as he can steal. You know what I mean? Because again, this shit is not forever. Just like anything else, it's going to end. So you want to make some money and you want to do great things, but not so great where I get in there with a guy that'll kill me right now. You know what I'm saying? So, all right, fuck it. I'll fuck with Pacquiao. He damn near 50 years old. I'll fight him. You know what I'm saying? Shit like that. So these dudes different anyway. They different. If I was Barrios, I wouldn't entertain Pacquiao. I'd be on that hunt for the rest of them straps.
From a business standpoint, Pacquiao's comeback makes perfect sense. His name remains one of boxing's biggest draws, and a high-profile fight like this is guaranteed to command attention.
It's a bad idea. Out of nowhere, the WBC decides they want their welterweight champion, Mario Barrios, to defend his belt against Manny Pacquiao. About 7 to 8, maybe 9, 10 years ago, I would have said, hells yeah, if we had a Manny Pacquiao championship fight. But Manny's been retired for 4 years. He's 46 years old. His last fight was in 2021, and he lost to Ugas in a unanimous decision. I watched his exhibition bout against the kickboxer guy in Japan. And again, I think people will look at this and go, well, Jake Paul fought Mike Tyson. And yeah, that happened. And I also said that Mike was going to get really badly hurt. And it was a terrible idea for him to do that. And there were some health issues and everything else. Luckily, Mike didn't get super hurt in the fight. But this is a world championship level fight against a sitting world champion. And Manny does not belong in there. And again, I'm worried.
However, some analysts believe this matchup is less about championships and more about cash. Barrios, young and charismatic, makes for a compelling opponent, and the pairing seems designed to stir up headlines and ticket sales more than title hopes. That's it for today's breakdown. Stay tuned for more, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button.